everybody, this is Mark the Game Shark here with another video of all the games I've beaten in 2022. So this year I've beaten probably the most games I've ever beaten any year. Actually, I beat a total of 58 games this year, not including my duplicates or the games I attempted and rage quit, but actually new ones I have actually completed. Or games some of them I played a while back and just played them again. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first game I got was Yoshi's Story on the N64, and this game is actually really good. I was actually really impressed with this one. We played it, Jay and I were playing it together, and we beat it 100%. And I beat that on January 18th, and I gave it a rating of 7 out of 10. So I definitely highly recommend it. But after you beat it, it has like not a whole lot of replay value, but it's still fun to. I'm sure it'll be fun to go back to down the road and play it from time to time. Number 2, we got Guitar Hero World Tour on the Xbox 360. So I was wanted to check out like the Guitar Hero games again, and that's the one I've never played. I bought it, but I never played it. So I beat that on January 23rd, and I gave it a rating of 6 out of 10 because I think the set list could have been a lot better, but it was okay. It was not too bad. Coming in at number 3, we got Tekken Tag Tournament 2 on the PS3. And I beat that game on February 14th. I gave it a rating of, gave it a 7 out of 10. It was okay. I didn't think it was as good as the original Tekken Tag on PS2, but it was still a good game. It seems a little complicated. I think they added a bunch of like mechanics that were weird. From what I remember, a lot of like customization. Like, who needs to do all that shit? It's a fighting game, for Christ's sake. Like, who cares what people look like? I don't know. It's kind of silly. But I still enjoyed it regardless. Coming at number 4 is Cyber Speedway on the Sega Saturn. I beat that game on February 20th, and I gave it a rating of 5 out of 10. I gave it, like, it's an okay game. From what I remember, I don't think it had a whole lot of replay value, but I don't know. It was okay. It wasn't too bad. I think towards the end, the races were kind of annoying, but other than that, it wasn't that bad of a game. And then what we got coming out at 5 is Kirby's Dream Land 2 on the Game Boy, which I had no idea they made a Dream Land 2 because Jay and I were been playing through the Kirby games, and that was the one game we haven't beaten. So I think last time we beaten just the original Dreamland. So we wanted to play the second one, and I beat that game on February 23rd, and I gave it a rating out of 7 out of 10, so it's a pretty decent game. And then coming at number 6, I know my buddy Scott from Sega Box will enjoy this one. It's Tomba on PS1. And Tomba is such a classic game. I got pretty far in it, but I've never actually beaten it because I got stuck. And of course, back then when I played it, there was no YouTube or like videos of how to get through to stuff. And I beat that on February 25th. I played it with my daughter. We both beat it together. And I gave it a rating of 10 out of 10. It's a fantastic game. So much fun. So I definitely plan to play that again in the future at some point. And then coming at number 7 is Klonoa Doi to Phantom Mile. And on the PlayStation 1, I beat that March 8th, and I gave it a rating out of 8 out of 10. It's pretty fun. What is it? A 2D or 2D/3D platformer? Kind of like how Nights into Dreams or Pandemonium is, where it's like 2D, but it's like 3D-ish. I don't know, I forget the technical term of it, but it's kind of like those kind of types of games, and it was a really fun platform. I enjoyed it. Some of the bosses and hit detection were kind of bullshit, but other than that, I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. Number 8, we got Kirby Superstar on the SNES, and we beat that March 29th. I gave it a rating 6 out of 10, just because like a lot of like the game, a lot of some of the like level design is kind of cheesy and like kind of bullshit, but and then I hated like the timing. I think there were some places where it was like had timing mechanics and you didn't even know about it until it was too late. So I thought that was kind of bullshit. But I mean, it's okay, but I probably won't go back to it. And coming in at number 9, we got Lego City Undercover on the Nintendo Switch. And I beat that April 2nd. I gave it a rating 7 out of 10. Now, these Lego games, they're cool. I like their cheesy humor that's involved in them. And I beat that with my daughter. She wanted to play it. I beat it way back when I first got the Switch in 2017. And I haven't played it since. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, we'll play it. I haven't played this game in forever. A lot of the game I totally forgot about, but it was fun going back to. Coming in at number 10 is Echo Jr. on the Sega Genesis. I beat that April 5th. I gave it a rating of 8 out of 10. It's the only Echo game I actually beat. And, oh, excuse me, or probably will beat. And it's really simple. I mean, it's made for kids, so there's basically like no difficulty in the game. It's just a fun, chilled game. I really enjoyed playing it, and I added it to my Sega Genesis Mini. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. Coming in at number 11 is Space Harrier 2 on the Sega Genesis. I beat that April 8th, and I gave it a rating of 7 out of 10. And it's a good game. I enjoyed it. It wasn't too bad. I can't remember much of the game. Well, just regular old Space Harrier. Coming on, damn, looks like I had was on a Sega kick. So, coming at number 12 is Virtual Fighter 2 on the Sega Genesis. And I beat that April 8th, and I gave it a rating of 8 out of 10. Now, I don't know why, like, a lot of people really don't like this game. I thought it was pretty decent for Virtual Fighter on the Genesis. I thought the animation was really good. Hit detection wasn't too bad, and I had fun with it. Coming in at number 13 is Zero Wing on the Sega Genesis, and I beat that game April 12th with a rating of 7 out of 10. This game's good, but there's a lot of the parts, like, towards the end, it gets, like, claustrophobic, which is kind of annoying, where, like, you have to, like, go in, like, little maze parts, and if you touch the walls, obviously you're dead, so it gets a little crazy that way, but, yeah, other than that, I enjoyed it, but, minus those, levels towards the end there. Coming in number 14 is Galaxy Force 2 on the Sega Genesis, and I beat that April 21st. I gave it a rating 7 out of 10. It's an okay game. It's kind of annoying. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Coming at number 15 is Mortal Kombat X on the PS2, and I beat that April 22nd with a rating 8 out of 10. Now, I think the reason I played this, I beat this a while. The reason I popped it in is because I remember MC Mer saying that if you pop that disc in, like, the game will upgrade itself to the XL game, which I don't have. And I popped it in and it says XL, Mortal Kombat XL, but when you go into it, it doesn't give you the XL content. So I was like, you know what? I popped the game in. Let me go ahead and beat it again. And I still enjoy it. I do want to get was it Mortal Kombat 11? I still haven't checked that game out yet. Coming at number 16 is She Sees Red on the Nintendo Switch. This is like one of those story like video FMV style um, games. It was pretty fun. It's really short. Like I thought it was really short. Like you have to play the game like multiple times to see all the different endings. But even then, it was still kind of short. I think it had to play through it like 10 times or whatever. But I beat that game on April 25th, and I gave it a rating like 6 out of 10, just because it was short, and after you see all the endings, like there's really nothing much to do with the game. All right, coming out at number 17 is Kirby's Dream Land 3 on the Super Nintendo, and I beat that game April 26th, and I gave it a rating 8 out of 10. It's a really fun game. It kind of sucks that the excuse me, the game itself is pricey, but if you can emulate it or have a ROM of it, I'd definitely check it out. I really enjoyed it. I mean, can't go wrong with a Kirby's Dream Land game. Coming at number 18 is Kill It With Fire on the Nintendo Switch, and I beat that game on May 10th, and I gave it a rating 5 out of 10. The game is okay. That game is so cheesy, and the graphics are very simplistic. And I think the hit detection was really bad. Like at first going into it, like before I got used to the game, I thought it was broken. But yeah, just like shitty, wonky hit detection. So that kind of put a damper on it, but it's an okay game. Very cheesy and corny. Coming at number 19 is Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards for the N64. And I beat that game May 31st, and I gave it a rating 9 out of 10. This is a really good Kirby game. I really liked how they did the mix and match of the powers that you can get. And I liked how certain parts, like, you needed specific combinations of powers to get through the level. So I thought it was pretty neat. It's a really fun game. I mean, the only downside is if you like don't have the proper power, and then you're stuck. You have to play the level over again, or if you miss like a specific secret. But other than that, it's pretty enjoyable. Coming at number 20 is Tapper on the ColecoVision. I beat that game June 1st, and I gave it a rating 9 out of 10. Like, what can you say? It's a Reaper Tapper or Tapper, whatever you want to call it. Such a classic game. It's so much fun. And I think there's like 4 different stages, and then the game just loops. So it's pretty fun. Coming at number 21 is Wolfenstein 3D on the Sega Genesis, and I beat that game June 18th. I gave it a rating 9 out of 10. It's a very fantastic port of Wolfenstein 3D. Now, it's basically just like the sharer version of Wolfenstein 3D, so you only get the first episode of the PC version, but it's really well done. I'm like really impressed, and it's so much fun to go back to. Coming in at number 22 is Lydia on the Nintendo Switch. I beat that game on June 28th. I gave it a rating 6 out of 10. And I was playing this on the plane going to Aruba for vacation. And I honestly forget what this game was about. I think it was like about that woman with the mental illness or something, or depression or something. It's pretty weird and crazy, or I'm trying to remember if that was the right game or not. I think it is. Yeah, she has like I think she had like abusive parents or something like that, or it's pretty dark. Definitely a dark game, not for the faint of heart by any means. But coming in to number 23 is Biolab Wars on the Nintendo Switch. I beat that game July 13th and gave it a rating 8 out of 10. This game's fun. It's like kind of like a run and gun, like Nintendo style esque game. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty short too, so like enjoy like a short and simple game. Definitely highly recommend picking it up. Number 24 is the Dreadnought Factor on the Atari 5200. I never thought I would have a 5200 game in my list. I beat that game July 19th with a rating 2 out of 10. I honestly don't know what sucked about the game, but I must have not have liked it for a 2 out of 10 rating. I don't know. I honestly don't know why I gave it a 2 out of 10 rating. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. I don't think I want to play it again. and, that's interesting. Anyway, 25 is Tapeworm Disco Puzzle on the Evercade. I beat that July 22nd. I gave it a rating 9 out of 10. Now, this is a fantastic puzzle game on the, it's a go coming up on Indie Heroes 2 cart on the Evercade. So much fun. It was actually my first update on the VS, and that game was available. And I was like, well, I'm not going to upgrade it because I like couldn't stop playing it. And it gets pretty challenging with the puzzles towards the end there. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. 26 is Sly Spy on the Evercade. And I beat that game July 22nd. I gave it a rating 8 out of 10. This is really fun. Definitely, I believe it's pretty goofy arcade game. And you have to I think you save the president's daughter or some nonsense like that, but it's pretty fun. Coming in at number 27 is Tumble Pop on the Evercade. I beat that game July 22nd with a rating 8 out of 10. Now, this game is kind of like your Snow Brothers, where you have to bash enemies into one another and gain points. And I really liked it. It's one of my daughter's favorite games on the Evercade. She couldn't stop playing it. Coming in at number 28 is Gate of Doom, Dark Seal on the Evercade. I beat this game July 23rd with a rating of 8 out of 10. It's like an isometric fighting game. It's pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. And then a follow-up to that, coming at number 29, is Wizard Fire Dark Seal 2 on the Evercade. Which is just a follow-up to the first one. I beat that same day, and I gave it the same rating, 8 out of 10. Fantastic games. Highly recommend them. Coming number 30 is the Calitz Gamer's Second Adventure on the Evercade. I beat that July 27th. I gave it rating 6 out of 10. I think the level design was kind of corny. Like there's some cheap parts in the game, but overall it was an okay game. Coming at number 31 is the Calitz Gamer's Lost Adventure. It's like the additional part to the second one, I believe. And I beat that the next day, July 28th, and I gave it a rating 7 out of 10. Same deal. Kind of level design's kind of annoying. I think the hit detection was a little wonky from what I remember, but it's still playable and easy to get through. Coming in at 32 is Breakthrough on the Evercade. I beat that game July 29th, and I gave it a rating 8 out of 10. And I forget what that game is even about. I beat so many Evercade games, I can't remember what game's what. But anyway, 33 was Lock and Chase on the Evercade. I beat that game August 2nd. I gave it a rating 7 out of 10. Which it's a classic Pac-Man type clone. 34 is Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja on the Evercade. I beat that game August 2nd, and I gave it a rating 8 out of 10. It's a pretty fun beat 'em up. Coming in at number 35 is Joe and Mac 2 on the Evercade. Joe and Mac 2 Lost in the Tropics. I beat that game August 7th. I gave it a rating 8 out of 10. And what's there to say of Joe and Mac? I mean, it wasn't as good as the first game, but it was still enjoyable regardless. And then coming in at 36 is Karate Champ on the Evercade. I beat that game August 7th, and I gave it a rating of 5 out of 10. The hit detection is pretty wonky, and the game is pretty short. Coming in at number 37 is Fighter's History on the Evercade. I beat that game August 8th, and I gave it a rating 8 out of 10. It's pretty standard fighting game. It's from Neo Geo. But I think the one on the Evercade is the Super Nintendo version of it. So it's a decent port from what I played of it. Coming out number 38 is Blobble on the Evercade. I beat that game August 12th. I gave it a rating 9 out of 10. This game, it's like a pretty cool, like, you're like a bubble and you like go exploring like this whole area, and it's pretty fun. I enjoyed it. And you have to collect these rubber duckies. I think you have to collect all of them in order to get like the best ending from what I remember. But it was pretty enjoyable. Coming on number 39 is Space Gulls on the Evercade. I beat that game August 13th. Gave it a rating 8 out of 10. It's a pretty fun game. Kind of short from what I remember, but still enjoyable regardless. Coming number 40 is Micro Mages on the Evercade. I beat that game August 15th. I gave it a rating 10 out of 10. This game is fantastic, and I think it would be even more so if you have multiple people play with you for like a couch co-op. But yeah, definitely look forward to maybe my daughter and I could play it sometime. I need to get more controllers for the Evercade. But yeah, Micro Mages definitely highly recommended. And 41 is Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 on the PC. I beat that game August 19th. I gave it a rating 8 out of 10. It's like your standard, like scary kids game type thing. It was okay. And then 42 is Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 on the PC. I beat that August 21st and gave it a rating 8 out of 10. And 43 is Micro Mage's Second Quest on the Evercade. I beat that game August 22nd. I gave it a rating 8 out of 10. It's a pretty good game, just a extension of the first game. I don't think they did too much in adding stuff to it from what I remember. It's basically the same stuff as the first game, but just different levels, and it's still enjoyable. Excuse me. Coming in 44, we got Dedius. Is that how you pronounce it? I have no idea. On the Evercade. I beat that game August 23rd. I gave it a rating 7 out of 10. It's kind of like it's like a horror RPG. It's pretty interesting actually. From what I remember, it gets dark like really quick in the game. I really enjoyed that one. Coming on number 45 is Chainbreak on the Evercade. I beat that game August 26th. I gave it a rating 8 out of 10. It's like one of those like avoiding games where like you're the character and it's an auto scroller and you just jump over obstacles. It's okay. It kind of gets repetitive after a while, but I enjoyed it. And then 46 is Debtor on the Evercade. I beat that game August 26th with a rating 8 out of 10. This game, I think it was like kind of like a short like RPG adventure style game. It was pretty interesting. 47 is Alien Cat 2 on the Evercade. I beat that game August 31st, and I gave it a rating 9 out of 10 now. This is a fantastic puzzle game. Oh my god, so good. And so enjoyable. There's like, I think I forget how many puzzles are there. There's a pretty decent amount, and the soundtrack in the game is just like amazing, so good. The soundtrack. It kind of sucks that I can't really find an OST of it. Like there is one, but it's for like the Genesis version. I think it sounds totally different than what's on the Evercade, but it's so much fun. Coming out in '48 is Kubo 3 on the Evercade. I beat that game September 3rd, and I gave it a rating 5 out of 10. I think this was the game the one kid did. I think it was like his dad and his son made this game. It's like kind of like a adventure type game. It was okay, kind of short, but it wasn't too bad. It was fun for what it was. 49 is Flea on the Evercade. I beat that game September 5th. I gave it a rating 5 out of 10 because I think some of the later levels in the game were kind of bullshit, I thought. I think some of it was trollish, but overall it's an okay game. I probably won't go back to it though. Coming number 50 is Doodle World on the Evercade. I beat that game September 6th. I gave a rating 7 out of 10. This game's pretty fun. The only thing that's bad is the hit detection is a little wonky. Like sometimes you can you can jump on the enemies, but other times like you'll miss and it'll count as you getting hit, which makes no sense. So other than that, it was a pretty decent game. Coming out at 51 is Twin Dragons on the Evercade. I beat that game September 9th. I gave it a rating 8 out of 10. It's a pretty fun adventure game. It gets pretty long. Like I think there was like 3 instances playing the game. I was like, am I done this game yet? It just keeps going on and on. But finally I beat it. I was like, oh, thank God. But other than that, it's a pretty decent game. Coming in at 52 is Water Margin on the Evercade. I beat that game September 10th with a rating 7 out of 10. This is a really underrated beat 'em up. This game, I believe it was originally on the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive, and it's so much fun. Oh my God, it's a very good beat 'em up. It'd be probably more fun with another player or whatever rather than play single player, but I really enjoyed that game. I highly recommend it. Coming in at 53 is Quest Arrest on the Evercade. I beat that game September 17th with a rating 8 out of 10. This is it's a short RPG. It was pretty fun. It wasn't too bad. I enjoyed it. Coming in at 54 is Gears 5 on the Xbox One. I beat that game October 12th. I gave it a rating 7 out of 10. The only thing I didn't like about Gears 5 is like a lot of the open world was kind of annoying. You had to go from one end all the way to the other end of the map, and then all the way up to the top of the map. And it's like such a pain in the ass. Like, really? Why can't I go to like next door? Like, why do I have to go to the opposite end of the map? It's kind of ridiculous. But other than that, it was a pretty decent game. I enjoyed it. Coming up number 55 is Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest on the NES. I beat this game November 2nd with a rating 9 out of 10. It's such a fantastic and highly underrated Castlevania game. I don't know why this game gets so much hate. Like, once you know what you're doing, it's pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. And it's so easy. It's not that hard at all. Like, the final boss was a joke. I couldn't believe how easy the final boss was. Like, I think some of the mid-bosses in the game were a lot harder. I think the Medusa head, and she wasn't even that hard, but she was more difficult than the final boss. So that was kind of silly, but super excited to finally beat that game. I played it through a decent amount of it, but I never actually beat it until last year. Coming in at 56 is the Dark Pictures Anthology House of Ashes on the PS4. I beat this game December 9th, and I gave it a rating 6 out of 10. It was okay. It's probably like my least favorite Dark Pictures Anthology game, but I don't know. I think the story could have been done a lot better, but there's some parts where like, what the hell, like, I don't know, just kind of dumb. But there's a lot of parts that they could have left out, I think. But other than that, it was an okay game. Coming out of 57 is Gelatinous Humanity Lost on the Evercade. This is actually the last game of the month that I have on the Evercade. I beat this December 19th, and I gave it a rating 1 out of 10. This game was buggy as all hell. Hopefully they fix it before they put it on Indie Heroes 2, or I don't know if it's supposed to be this buggy, but like the hit detection's bad. It was like, what is it? Oh god, there was trollish level design. Like you couldn't see too far ahead of you, and if you jumped, you like, and you didn't know. And you hit a fucking enemy, and it's like, what the fuck? How cheap is this fucking game? And yeah, it's just the hit detection sucked, and it's just a mess. but it's short, so you won't take too much of your time. So that's a plus. So, and then last game of 2022 was Allah's Awakening on the Evercade. I finally beat this game December 30th. I gave it a rating 8 out of 10. It's such a fantastic game. Actually, I should increase that. This game is amazing. It's kind of like it's like exploration type game. I guess it would be considered a Metroid-esque type of game because you need certain powers to get through certain stuff, but it's kind of linear in a way. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Like you do have to travel back to the other levels to get certain items, but it's not that bad. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. So much fun, and the soundtrack is amazing. One of the greatest soundtracks ever in a video game. And the soundtrack will get stuck in my head like all the time too as I'm playing the game. It's so silly. Alright, so now we go on to our second section, and that's Rage Quit. All the games I played that I just was like, fuck this game, it can eat a bag of dicks. Coming out, the first one is Vagrant Story on the PS1. It's a good RPG, but once I think it was the third boss, he just wrecked me. And like, you try to kill him, and I think he was one of those assholes that recovers his own health. Like, he takes your health and he gets health, from what I remember, and it just pissed me off. Like, it's funny, I was trying to watch, like, I watched a video of, like, I was like, how the fuck do I beat this guy? The guys that I was watching, he was having trouble on the second boss, which I beat the second boss, no problem. But then the third boss that I rage quit on, he just beat it like it was nothing. I'm like, because he did it, for whatever reason, when he was playing, the boss never healed himself. But every time I played, he always healed himself, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this game. It can eat a bag of dicks. The second game is Manticore Galaxy on Fire on the Nintendo Switch. This game was fun up until, like, I guess I was, like, in the middle of the game, and you just get wrecked. Like, I don't know, there's, like, enemies coming from all directions, and it just sucks. You just, like, get destroyed halfway through the level. You're like, what the fuck? And I kept dying at the same exact spot. And I just, like, had enough. I was like, fuck this. I don't got time for this bullshit. I'm too old for this shit. And last one was Foxyland on the Evercade. This one, like, the hit detection sucked, and this one particular level, I think I might have been, like, maybe quarter way into the game, and I just gave up. I was like, fuck this game. Even with using save states, it was a fucking annoying. I was like, you have to like get through these. You only have like 3 hit points, and to get to like the key, you automatically take a hit. Like there's no way around it. I tried everything to try and not get hit, and it's just impossible. And then coming back, you have to come back the same way you came, and you get hit again. And then you have like 1 hit point for the rest of the level, and it just was dreadful. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And there's out of all the games I played, there was only 2 I've repeated. Um, First one was Dragon Spirit: The New Legend on the NES. I love playing this game. It's so easy. I know a lot of people say it's hard, but fortunately, it's one game that I'm really good at, and one of the games I always go back to every year. And then the second one was Gears of War 4 on the Xbox One. I think Jay and I we switched it up. We usually play Gears, go through it twice. Like I'll play on easy, he'll play on like insane, and I'll go through the level on easy and clear out most of the guys. That way he'll get the achievements for beating on the hardest setting, and then we'll flip flop. And that's what we've done with Gears of War 4. So I'm pretty sure this year we'll probably go back at some point to Gears 5 and then play that game over. Not sure when, but probably sometime this year. So yeah, there you go. There you have it, guys. All the games I've beaten in 2022. So I can't believe I've beaten 58 games. I was actually, before recording this, I was looking at my previous videos. I was like, is that the most games I've ever beaten? I think the one before that was 50. So now, will I beat 58 more this year? I guess only time can tell. I mean, I know I'm always a late start. Like I see people already like beating like their 10th game already, and I only beat one. I beat Quake so far this year. Spoilers for next year's video. But I've beaten Quake on Xbox Series X. Um, and yeah, guess we'll see what this year it happens, and that's all I got, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys have, how many games you guys beaten from last year, and till next time, guys, this is Mark the Game Shark signing out. Have a good night.